Hello everyone, we've got a massive video to cover today. Alright, so as you probably know, Doors is updating next Friday, and the update's going to bring something called Kringle's Workshop, a very mysterious new location themed around Christmas, hence Kringle. Kris Kringle, that's another name for Santa. Anyways, explorers managed to dig through the game files and find a bunch of stuff relating to this event that we have never seen before. This includes stuff like new entities, as well as new lore, and maybe even the plot of what this event actually is going to be focused around. And let me just say, we are not prepared for what's going to be added. Today, I want to go over everything these explorers managed to find, and how it relates to what we know so far about this event. So, with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so the first thing I want to go over is how this event is related to Glitch, or at least what we know so far, at least prior to these new leaks. Essentially, in the lobby, underneath the announcement revealing the new Kringle's Workshop event, we can find a blue present. Now, this present is actually very interesting, as surrounding it are all of these purple glitch particles. Now, these particles, besides just being glitchy like the glitch entity, also only appear in areas associated with the glitch entity, such as glitch fragments. So, this whole Kringle's Workshop event is somehow tied to glitch. It's just back when this blue present was added to the lobby, we didn't necessarily know how. That is, until the leakers revealed what was hiding in the game files, as it is pretty major. So let's get into that. Alright, so the first thing they found was what exactly is this workshop event going to take place in? So, by digging through the game files, they managed to find a brand new floor which seemingly this event would occur in, and it's called Vision. However, it's also referred to as Ripple in the game files, so I guess you could call it the Vision or the Ripple. Now, at first this may not make sense. This is Santa's Workshop, Kringle's Workshop. Why is it given such an ominous name? Well, that actually ties back to Glitch. Now, something you may not have known about Glitch lore is that they aren't a physical entity like Giggles or Gloombats. No, Glitch is actually a hallucination by the player, and we know this as whenever you spawn a Glitch fragment entity, which is obviously related to Glitch, the dev console actually says that it's a hallucination. We are told that directly by the developers. So, since we know that this blue present in the lobby related to Kringle's Workshop is all glitchy, we know that this whole floor is related to Glitch, and for it to be a vision in our mind or some type of ripple, it makes sense with Glitch's already established lore, as it's not real, it's something we are hallucinating. So what else do we know about this floor? Well, the next thing I'm going to say is going to come across as pretty shocking, so be prepared. Glitch is getting their own death cutscene. Yes, that's right, Step Aside Guiding Light and Curious Light. We now have a new architect-like character playing the role as the person we meet after we die, and that is Glitch. Essentially, in the game files, players were managed to find that there existed a new death screen that was completely black, where Glitch directly talks to us. They also found a bunch of new audio clips, which are just like the normal Doors death audio, but they have glitchy static effects, likely to play in this cutscene. What this means that whatever we find in this Kringle's Workshop area, it's going to have something that's obviously hostile and kill us. And when we die, we meet Glitch, not Guiding Light or Curious Light, which is actually pretty interesting. I'd also like to mention that on the topic of this Glitch death screen thing, in the game files, alongside the Guiding Light and Curious Light music, there's also stuff for Glitch's music. As you can probably tell, when it says blue here on the screen, that refers to Guiding Light, and yellow, it refers to Curious Light. So whatever this is, it's definitely relating to Glitch being the person we meet after we die, which I think is super cool. Now, if we go back to the original description of Kringle's Workshop, we'll see that it's a new spin on one of the pre-existing rooms and doors. So unlike the Halloween trick-or-treat event, which was an entire festive spin on a whole subfloor, playing this Ripple or Vision floor likely won't be an entire floor, which sounds kind of weird, but it's probably just going to be a single room that we'll have to beat with probably a new Kringle entity, and if we die to it, then we'll happen to meet Glitch, which I think is a really unique twist, because typically just like with the Trick or Treat event, I'd expect we'd see just a Christmas-themed reskin of a pre-existing floor. But I assume we're just going to see a single floor that we'll have to beat for achievement or something. I don't know, I'm just kind of ranting, but I just wanted to get that out there. Now, there was actually one last thing I wanted to point out, and it's probably the last major thing we have that was leaked to us for this event, and that is a Christmas version of Screech. Now, if we dig into the game files, we can see that Screech has a new leaked Xmas 25 version, and we can actually get a good look at their model. As you can see, it just appears as Screech, however, they are themed like a snowman. They have coal eyes, a carrot nose, and icicles instead of tentacles, and of course a top hat, just like Frosty the Snowman, who I assume this character is actually based on. Now, as for where this will actually appear, I assume it will spawn in the new Vision or Ripple floor/room. You know, like I said, I don't necessarily know if this thing is going to be an entire floor, like the Trick or Treat event, or just a single room that's themed around Christmas and Glitch for some reason. But I assume that whatever it is, we'll be able to find this Christmas version of Screech inside of it. Now, this was actually the only Christmas-themed entity leaked from the exploiters, so we actually have no idea who Kringle is. If I had to guess, they could actually be a glitch entity, similar to the entities found whenever you interact with a glitch fragment, as that would make the most sense, as this version of Screech that's a snowman doesn't necessarily look like anything related to glitch. Now, as for what the Vision floor would actually have inside of it, I assume that it would actually be a reskin of one of the existing floors in the game, such as the nest or the library. Now, I'd also like to mention that alongside the original announcement for Kringle's Workshop, we also received a teaser image that shows Kringle's Workshop being an indoor location, with some stacked presents, a fireplace behind a window, and what appears to be 2 glowing eyes. Now, in a previous video, I said that these eyes could be that of a Gloombat, which would imply Kringle's Workshop is a reskin of one of the areas in the mines, although it is possible that it is just its own unique floor or an area of the hotel. So I really don't know what this floor could actually have. But Christmas Screech is going to be in it, so what do I have to say? Anyways, that was basically all of the new stuff leaked for this update. I am super excited for it, and what's even better is that it's only a week away, so it won't be long before all our questions about these leaks are going to be answered. So, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of all this, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.